The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, created the Hazard Communications Standard with the intent to protect you from accidental contact with chemicals. The standard provides you with the right to know about the chemicals you may encounter on the job and explains how to protect yourself from the hazards associated with these chemicals. At Marathon Staffing, we put your safety first. We work with our clients to ensure that they have an effective hazard communication program and that they provide you with the information necessary for your safety if you work with any chemicals at their site.
For your safety, it is important for you to understand how to handle any chemicals you work with in a safe manner. You should not work with any hazardous chemicals you are not familiar with. If you have any questions about a chemical, you can read the safety data sheet or talk with your supervisor to find out more information.
It is critical that you follow established safe work procedures for chemicals in your facility. Chemicals that present health hazards include those containing carcinogens or cancer-causing, toxins, reproductive toxins, irritants, corrosives, and sensitizers. Health hazards can be acute, meaning immediate or right away, or they can be chronic, causing health problems over a long period of time. Chemicals labeled as flammable can catch fire easily and have a flash point below 100 degrees. Marathon Staffing has created a written hazard communication program for your safety. This program outlines how chemicals are to be handled in the workplace to keep you protected and how important information will be shared with you. If you have any questions, please contact your supervisor. Before working with any chemicals, you must know how to read and understand the chemical's corresponding safety data sheet and the labeling provided on the chemical's container. Provided details on chemicals include physical dangers, safety procedures, and emergency response procedures. The host employer must have one safety data sheet available for every chemical and hazardous product contained in your workplace.
There are 16 sections to the safety data sheet that tell you important information. Each section contains different and important information, but the top 5 sections you should know about are Section 1, which identifies the chemicals on the safety data sheet and recommended uses, Section 2, which identifies the hazards of the chemical and the appropriate warning information associated with those hazards, Section 4, which tells you what to do in case of exposure to the chemical, Section 8 tells you the exposure limits, engineering controls, and most importantly, personal protective measures that you can use to minimize the hazards, and Section 11 provides toxicological and health effects information for you, the user.
It is your responsibility to read and understand container labeling and the appropriate safety data sheets for the chemicals that you will work with. Knowing these things helps you take the necessary steps in protecting not only yourself, but also your coworkers. Never leave chemical safety to chance. When you transfer a chemical from its original container into a different container, that container is considered to be the secondary container. The secondary container, at a minimum, must have the name of the chemical and identify its hazard. For example, a container of isopropyl alcohol must be labeled as alcohol and also as flammable. In 2013, OSHA adopted the Global Harmonization System. In the GHS system, the hazard categories are numbered from 1 to 5. The lower the number, the greater the severity of the hazard. So Category 1 hazard is the most dangerous. They also use pictograms to identify the different types of hazards, including explosive, flammable, oxidizing, compressed gas, corrosive, toxic, harmful, health hazard, or environmental hazard. The GHS label will tell you 6 key things. 1 is the product name. 2 is the signal word, caution or danger. 3 are the hazard statements. 4 are the precautionary statements you should be aware of. 5 is the supplier information. And 6 are the pictograms. All labels must be legible and in good condition. For containers that may be hard to label, signs or placards may be used. The GHS numbering system is the opposite of the NFPA or National Fire Protection Agency rating system pictured here. This is the one that you may be used to seeing, and it is still used by some companies. Under the NFPA system, the most dangerous rating is 4, while 0 would pose a minimal hazard. It is important that you understand whichever labeling system the host employer uses on their site. Thank you for your attention to this presentation on Marathon Staffing's Hazard Communication Standard. If you have any questions, please contact your supervisor.